Something I forgot to mention on the show, I don't even know if it's that cool of a fact, to be completely honest with you, but there's this park in Glendale. Glendale has a very nice part. Like, there's like a neighborhood where it's like, it seems like there's some real money here.
Yeah.
So I'm walking through the nice neighborhood to get to this park, and as everybody here knows, but maybe the listeners don't know, Glendale, biggest Armenian population. Oh no!
Cop just busted out from the bottom.
While you clean that, I'll finish this story, and it's not that good of a story, luckily, so it's not gonna interrupt anything. I'm walking through this neighborhood, and very Armenian population, as everybody may or may not know.
Which is great, and I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Who do I pass by? Whom do I pass? The lead singer of System of a Down.
Serge.
No.
Serge. And it makes sense. He probably likes living in Glendale. He's super connected to his Armenian roots. He's from Glendale. Yeah. So it would make sense to me that if he was a millionaire, which certainly he is, he would have like the nicest home in Glendale. Which I know it sounds funny, but I'm telling you, if you live in Los Angeles, go around its Brand Park.
There's no way his house is nicer than whatever Kardashian stayed there.
Oh, sure. Of course.
But I think most of them are in Calabasas.
I feel like the Kardashians, like...
Or fake asses.
Ooh,
That's what I call it.
It's so funny that Brian deals with people who live in Calabasas so much through the studio that he has jokes about it. Like
He's ready. He's got them lined up.
Yeah. Calabasas, for our national and some of our international listeners, I don't know. Listen, for our couple of listeners in Kenya, I don't know how much Calabasas info you need to know because it's rough. It's rough how different life is over there. It's one of those nicest. What is it, like most expensive?
Yeah, it's a nice area, but it's also, I think a lot of people know it because that's where Kanye and Kim lived.
Kim.
The Kardashians was based out of there.
Joe Rogan.
No, he had a little canyon near Calabasas. That's his own little canyon, like Whitney Cummings has.
Oh.
They're not in Calabasas proper.
But I like that idea, though. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to move to just outside of a nice place and tell people that I'm based out of that nice place. I'm like, it's actually technically not, but
it's really funny because I used to cater in Calabasas a lot, and a lot of like the Calabasas money is from hip hop and like basketball and stuff, if you get my drift. Mm-hmm. And so we're in this like
they're black people.
Yeah.
Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah. No, but let me
finish. They're African Americans.
Yeah, they're African Americans. But I was catering and I was at a Ralph's picking up some stuff with a coworker, a white guy from Alaska. And it was just everybody was black, but super rich area, super rich. And the guy I was catering was like, I didn't know Calabasas was so urban.
That's so what a
he called it urban, which is so funny that like even the racists have like the language always adapts, which is why words don't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like it was
the word urban always is. It's so it's so funny that would be his go-to. Like he went 20 years ago. I don't think I hear that anymore.
Well, he's from Alaska. Alaska's probably 45 years behind.
Yeah, well, that's true. So honestly, I should be impressed that he even got that. Like I should be like, damn, that's better than I thought a guy from Alaska would say.
I've watched a lot of documentaries of Muslim refugees being sent to Alaska and people around the neighborhood just being like, what the hell? Like, what is this?
Interestingly enough, the Muslim refugees are like, this is pretty cool. I kind of know what this is. Like, this feels kind of a little bit like where I'm from. Some of the laws seem to be, respected here. I was going to say do you want to know the story before I feel like I don't want to get too far.
Why did you get that? We've joked about this already on the podcast about how much these fucking water bottles drive you crazy. Are you fucking mule packing through the desert? Why the fuck do you need that big of water? You can refill a water bottle. Well, you don't need to bring all your day's water with you.
First of all,
you live in an urban area.
Let me paint a scenario for you, Brian. I'm on the 5 freeway. I decide I'm going to go do a show in Fresno tonight. Okay? Headed up there. Boom. Car breaks down. It's 3 a.m. at night. Maybe someone's not going to pass by me for weeks.
Yeah, see, the stretch, I was like, okay, 3 a.m., so you got to wait till 8 a.m., you don't have water? You've never drank water in front of me once in the 3 years I've known you. All of a sudden, you need all the water?
Well, listen, let me first of all say, don't let the mistakes of my past define my future, okay? Let me say that. I've changed. I'm a new Ramsey. I'm way healthier now, first of all.
Why? What made you want to drink water?
Well, I saw somebody else doing it.
Oh, my God.
It seemed cool.
Does this stuff work for you? Let's look at this.
Okay, so 7 a.m. Okay, so first of all, let me just go ahead and lay it out here. I just this past weekend did a show. I was actually doing some shows. I was over at the Madhouse Comedy Club. Thank you to Friday night, by the way, if you were there. Saturday night, you can
go fuck yourself.
You can go fuck yourself Saturday night. You fucking dumb pieces of shit. You idiots.
Yeah.
The dumbest people I ever saw in my entire
you
fucking
just flew
life.
right over their heads because they were so stupid.
I'm telling you, there was people there who were like, they were hilariously San Diego, just like not a pant in house.
Yeah, not a closed-toed shoe, just toes out everywhere.
Ripped guys with sleeves, like all of a sudden, sleeves mean nothing anymore.
No,
I like swiping through cop TikTok. Cop TikTok is good because it's like cops, but just on short episodes. So.
I thought you meant you were just watching content made by cops.
Well, some of it is cops made content, which is it's always
where they
kind
like
of fun.
try to show that they're not murderers.
Exactly.
So they do a dance.
Yeah, exactly. Or they do like TikTok challenges or whatever. But I just saw like cops with like there was just so many cops with sleeves, and you're just like, it just doesn't mean what it used to mean.
Oh, you mean tattoo sleeves?
Yes.
Oh, when you said sleeves mean nothing anymore, I just assumed the audience was full of sleeveless shirts, which also totally made sense to me for San Diego.
Both were true. How else did I know that they had full sleeves?
Exactly.
I knew that they had it up to the chest, that kind of a thing. But
that's a big thing in England. It has been forever. The working class guys all have sleeves, all of them.
Yeah. So that's what I kind of think that that's where a lot of white dudes are getting it from. Is that kind of like because they're all trying to be working class Scottish people. Like that's what they think looks
that's my
cool.
fashion now.
Yeah.
Upper button, top button.
Yeah.
Because listen, when you're an old punk, you go one way or the other. You either start dressing British or you start dressing Western.
Yeah.
And Western just doesn't really work for me. Although I do have a great ass in Wrangler jeans.
I'm in a phase right now where I'm trying to decide whether I want to go just white. Like, well, let me just say this. I'm in the white genre. Am I gonna go like white dad? Or do I go like DJ?
Well, you've made your choice.
Yeah.
Here it is right here. Is this Molly water, you fucking loser?
So, first of all, it is Rockstar Zero, pure, okay? Every day I buy 30 cans in the morning. I crack them. Now, if I told you that would actually make sense for me, and you would actually respect that.
I would, and I could picture that being your version of meditating, cracking open a Rockstar, dumping it, getting the high pour.
I like the idea.
The Miami pour, they call it.
It's like, so.
I know so much more about influencers than you do, and this is bothering me.
So, I was at a show this weekend, and one of the comics had this, right? And hear me out.
They had a good set.
No, well, no, they had a great sets.
That'd be classic Ramsey to take the wrong thing away from somebody.
They had fantastic sets, but I didn't get it. I asked them, I said, why do you have that much water with you? They said, you're supposed to drink this much water, apparently. And I was like, that can't be true. That cannot be true. I Googled it. You're supposed to drink about this much water every day.
A gallon of water a day.
Just about.
That's what you ever talk to a guy with like my friend Preacher Lawson. He has perfect skin. He's ripped. He works out hard, but
yeah.
I'm always like, I was putting lotion on my face. He goes, bro, you shouldn't put lotion on your face. Just drink a gallon of water. Best thing you can do for your skin. Yeah. And it's just one of those things where beautiful people just truly don't understand the other experience.
No, I hear ya. Except
a gallon of water is not going to make me look good.
Well, hear me out on this one. Probably some of our listeners are noticing, but I'm glowing in a way that I wasn't glowing last week. And I can only attribute it to the water.
Your hair is sitting on your head now like a black woman's church hat. That's what it looks like you're wearing.
Like I'm at a funeral?
Yeah, exactly. It looks like you could pull that down for a veil.
Yeah, well, maybe I will later. Maybe that's what I'm trying. Maybe that's what I'm working on. Unfortunately, there's no mirrors here, so I don't know what's going on. So
a guy told you that you're supposed to drink this much water.
A guy? A guy.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of female influencers walking around with these. I'm in the industry.
It was a gal.
Okay.
Take that, you fucking pig.
Okay.
Chicks do comedy too.
Prove it.
Hey, and you're gonna be
kidding.
pissed off about this. She was headlining. Yeah, you fucking pig.
Wait, you opened for a woman? Did you tell your father?
That conversation has not happened yet, but it'll happen soon when he's ready.
Was she modest at least?
Let me go back to her. She said that's how much water you're supposed to drink, and she made the argument of you don't think about drinking the water unless you're carrying around a giant thing.
That's not true.
I don't know. It was convincing to me. The idea is if you have one of these in your life and you fill it first thing in the morning and you just make sure that you get through that in one day, it's a lot easier than just being like, I need to remember to drink a glass of water an hour. It's easier.
I don't have to remember to drink water. I don't carry my day's worth of food around with me in a backpack. Like,
but you don't have to remind your fucking fat ass to eat food. You know what I mean?
I drink water all day constantly.
And I didn't mean to call you specifically fat. I just meant like the love of food fat.
It's fine.
No. I would never call anybody fat.
Well, we'll bust out to the wide shot right here, and everybody can see my side profile.
You're perfect. The way you are.
Oh, I hate you so much right now. This is disgusting. Nobody wants this kind of fucking podcast. Nobody wants to hear this shit.
Are you kidding me? Our fans, if you're listening,
perfect. You suck my ass.
All right. I guess we're gonna be one of those shows. Okay. Hey, what's up, everybody? Fuck God.
Yeah, that's fine. That's where all the fans found you from a podcast.
I know, that's what I think is so funny.
I believe Mean Boys said fuck God, right?
You know what? It did. And I didn't even think about it. It was just so many anti-Christian podcasts out there today. I want to turn Worst Hour into a Christian podcast.
And that's why we today are saluting Texas and the U.S. Supreme Court for their wonderful pro-life ruling.
Governor Greg Abbott, who, God damn it, I miss when I didn't know his name. I miss when I was like,
I know.
I hate that I had to learn who he is. He said today that, the abortion law, the reason why they didn't carve out any exemptions for rape
or incest
is because the state of Texas plans to eliminate rapists.
Yeah.
Suck on that one, Gavin. Suck on that one.
Yeah.
That's what a governor does.
Has Gavin outlined his platform to eliminate rape?
Nope. In fact, to be honest with you, I think he's been a little quiet on the issue.
Yeah. He's probably got a few skeletons in his closet. I'm not going to lie.
I read a poll, of course, as the listeners know, Gavin Newsom is being recalled here in California. 4th ever recall election in our national history, which is
So at least, I don't know what the other ones are, but the other one was Gray Davis, so at least 50% are California.
Yes, at least 50% are California, at least 50% you've possibly lived through.
Yeah.
So it's a fairly historic thing. I think that it might actually cost Gavin the opportunity to be president. I think it's a good argument, or maybe
that sailed. I think he's gone.
He doesn't think he's gone. He does not think he's
You're
gone.
Always the last one to know. That's why boxers box into their 50s.
Yeah, and I think one of the death blows that people are going to do on him is they're going to go, he almost lost California. Like, how bad do you have to be to be a Democratic governor and get a recall in California?
Yeah. I mean, like, he's going to go to the DNC and be like, hey, I'd like to run for president. Yeah. They're going to turn on a TV and watch Larry Elder give a State of the State address. And they're going to be like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
You think there's no way? Well, unfortunately, I don't care. I'm a yes on the recall purely for the chaos of it.
I've been saying on stage that I'm on the ballot. I've been running my platform.
So you're voting for you.
Yeah, I'm voting for me.
That's a good way to not. If you want to be a person who doesn't want to vote for Gavin Newsom, but you don't have the conscience to vote for Larry Elder, what you do is you vote yourself in.
Yeah, you write it in yourself. Now, I want to double back to Texas. Now, one of the things about the Texas abortion law that, like, look, this is going to be uncomfortable for some people, but you know how it's like a bounty law? Like, any person can sue somebody for giving an abortion for $10,000.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. The unemployment ran out on September 4th. I am unemployed as of the moment.
Uh-huh.
I'd hate to do it to the young ladies, but I think I might be going down to Texas to get $10,000. I won't feel good about it, but I also wouldn't feel good if I was stocking child labor products on a Costco shelf
Now
You know what I mean?
Here's the question: you get the $10,000. The young lady who has to give an abortion, or older woman. Let's also not rule that part
Sure.
out.
Or the man.
Or the, or the man.
Edit out my laugh after that.
You're so used to having to do the he or she. You're now doing the he with that. They become criminally prosecuted at that point. Is that what happens?
It's like a penalty, and then they get their clinic shut down. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there's any I don't think they go to jail. But here's the thing: there's no income tax in Texas. So what I'll do is I'll peel off that what I would be paying an income tax in California, and I'll give that to a pro-life, pro-choice organization in Texas.
Yeah.
So look, I will be contributing to stopping the law, but I will also be taking advantage of the law while it's out.
I feel like there was a Cobra problem in India, and this is, of course, as one would expect. This was Tyler. Can you look up the Cobra problem?
I'm going to tell you, anytime there's a Cobra around, it's a problem.
Yeah, I gotta be frank with you. If there's one Cobra, I think that's one Cobra too many.
Are there any places where there are Cobras and no problems?
I gotta believe Cobras and are not fond of good times in general. So they had a Cobra problem, and they created a bounty system where they said, "Hey, if you kill the Cobras, we'll pay. We'll peel off."
Louisiana has that with Nutria.
Now, what happened specifically in India was it was actually a town, I believe specifically. People would just go outside of that town and they would create Cobra farm. The way it worked is you would literally have to bring in a dead Cobra. Like, here, I killed the Cobra. So they created Cobra farms where you got to come and they would kill the Cobra and then hand it to you, and you could take it to the government and get paid for it.
Nice. It seems pretty different from what the government was going for.
Yeah.
Now, so how are you tying this into Texas?
I was thinking, if there's no criminal law or anything, what you do is you create an abortion farm, and then
5,000 each.
5,000 each. You tie it up. Yeah.
There you go.
People come to your farm.
Yeah, you got to rename your farm every 5 days.
Of course.
Maybe change the P.O. box every 5 days.
People will start trying to get cash in on a couple bucks. But I'm positive that there are criminal. You can get criminally liable for having an abortion with the bill. I think you're criminally liable.
Well, I don't want to read into all the details because I need $10,000.
Okay. I think there are easier ways to get $10,000.
I know an easy way to get $30.
How's that?
In my class action lawsuit against Bumble that I'm eligible for.
Do they give you, okay, tell me about this.
So I got an email from Bumble, which is a dating app. And it says that I may be eligible to participate in a class action lawsuit. Now, to be fair,
I'm just laughing, picturing you getting this email in front of your girlfriend. You're like, it just so looks like you're signed up on Bumble.
You know what's funny is I always forget which app I met her on, so I've gotten that wrong in front of her, but whatever. But I've already won other class action lawsuit against Bumble.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What was their other one?
I don't know what it's about. I didn't read into that one because I think I looked into it. It wasn't as funny, but I got like $100 from them for something. I don't remember what, but this one is really funny because Mansoor, is that Persian or is that Arabic?
Mansoor is Arabic. It could I think it means
Lebanese, maybe.
Yeah, it's Mansoor is a Lebanese name. I think it means pipe.
Well, that's fitting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this Arab man sued Bumble for discrimination against men due to its platform that only women can speak to you first on Bumble.
Okay.
But he was saying that if you're a woman interested in women, then either one can talk to each other. Mm-hmm. But if you're a man interested in women, you can't talk first.
Yeah.
So he said so basically nobody was talking to this guy. So he filed a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And he got like 30 other losers to jump on the lawsuit with him because nobody was, even though there's all the other apps in the world, and this is just the platform of Bumble.
Bumble would blow the minds of the Middle Eastern people. Like, if I took this thing down and was like, I took it to Jordan and was like, check this out. So in this app, she chooses 100%.
Yeah.
And if she wants, she could totally choose to talk to a chick.
Yep.
And that's totally fine. Yep. They can hook up afterwards.
Right.
And if you want to talk to her and she doesn't want to talk to you, go fuck yourself.
It can't happen.
insane.
It's a reverse Islam.
Yeah, it would literally have to. Bumble would have to be a black market application that you could use in the Middle East.
So now, Bumble decided to settle. They said, "Go fuck yourself."
Oh, interesting. They decided to settle. So did a lot of the women using their app. We don't have a soundboard.
So now, what I'm eligible for is 20 free super swipes, which no good to me anymore.
Yeah,
good to me anymore.
A super swipe is you swipe it and they have to date you. They have to go out with you.
You get if you hit a super swipe, you get the girl's social security number, her mother's maiden name. You get everything, fingerprints.
I think that should be a feature, that they have to go out with you. They don't have to do anything with you.
You get 20, or the girl gets arrested?
No, you know what it does? Maybe we do like a hard incentive where it's like, if I super swipe you, Bumble has to give that chick $200 to go out on a date.
Or dinner's on them.
Dinner's on them kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Something. Yeah. Like, give me, I don't want to just do a thing where it's
they
like. They
partner up with like Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and like a movie theater.
Honestly, a Denny's would be nice. It doesn't even have to be a steakhouse.
So that's not really a hard incentive, though. You said a hard incentive.
What, you know what I mean? I mean, like, it's called the hard incentive. $100. You have to date this guy.
So you either get the 20 super swipes, or you can, if you send in a timely claim proving your eligibility. Yeah, I can get a piece of the settlement. The settlement adds up to about $30. So I can get I'm going to try to get that $30. Why not? That's $30.
Now, I'm also eligible for this because I did read, and hey, we'll just pass it on to the listeners, that if it's eligible for all male users
in California
who used Bumble between 2016 and 2019 or something like that.
Yeah. So,
I saw 2016 and was like, I'm good. And then I just stopped reading after that. I wanted to see where I was at.
I think it goes all the way to 2021.
All the way to 2021?
Uh-huh.
And so Bumble maybe will now have to start allowing men to choose, or they're settling out. They're just not going to.
They're settling out, so they're going to shut this guy up and continue because they don't want it to go to trial. Because I don't know how they could lose that. It's not discriminatory in my mind. Because you sign up for it.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd love to debate this one out with you, but I didn't even read that guy's point of view. I just want the $30. I don't know what's. Yeah,
I just thought it was really funny to picture there's this Arab man. It's just the most stereotypical thing, suing the company that is letting women talk first.
You think that's an Arab? Well, yeah, okay, all right. I mean, I can't. To me, the idea of an Arab man being a lawyer is crazy to me.
No, he's not a lawyer. He's the claimant.
He's the claimant.
Yeah. No, he's not the lawyer.
I thought for some reason he was the lawyer.
No. He's the man who initiated the lawsuit. He hired lawyers.
Well, we support his here on the show.
It's just, I mean, we don't know this guy's story. He could be anything, but I'm picturing a guy, an immigrant, came over here for a better life and brought his former country's values over to here, and then, like you said, just had his mind fucking blown.
Are you a racist piece of shit, Brian? Maybe Mansoor's from here. Have you ever thought about that?
I just said
Arabs have born in America too. You dumb fucking pig. Like, seriously, man.
What was that?
This is
this is
the point of view of the guy who drinks this much water.
Oh my God.
By the way,
embarrassing. Look, can we read this to them?
Yeah. Well, so there's a reminder per time of day when you should be drinking your water. So 7 a.m., 9 a.m. They're just trying to give you like an idea, like every 2 hours have some water.
I'll tell you this: you're already at 11 a.m. and it's 10:30. This is the first time Ramsey's ever been early for anything in his life.
I almost pissed my fucking pants on the way here.
Did you almost crack this open and throw your hog in there? Because that's a safe piss bottle.
You have no idea. It was an absolute possibility. Mm-hmm. And I was looking around and I was going, I have to piss really fucking badly. Like, I either have to piss in this bottle or I have to piss my pants. One of those two things. Mm-hmm. And I thought if I piss my pants, I unfortunately would have to come in.
Right.
Because it's too funny.
Yeah,
the idea of the first day that I have this bottle that I've already
You wee-weed yourself.
I've already pissed my pants within one day. I thought it would be too good. I held off, thankfully, because I'm like, you know what? I've only had this thing a week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to already piss in it. I'd like to hold this
yeah.
thing off for months before I have to piss into it.
100%. I understand what
Let
you're
some of the
saying.
shine wear off. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you something. You're too old to feel awesome from drinking all this water. I mean, you need to do it. It is very healthy for you, but don't expect like a 24-year-old would drink this down and then all of a sudden have a boner across the wall and a six-pack popping out and skate for 19 hours. This is going to do nothing. I mean, it's going to be good for you. It's going to increase, what it's really going to do is help your kidneys and your liver, because your kidneys and your livers have been fucking, soaked in Monster Energy drink for the last.
Yeah. Without a question, I kind of deep down inside believe that I'm doing a large cleansing of my entire body.
Yeah.
But that's not happening. I'm just peeing.
This isn't going to help you feel well, but it will keep you from getting stones.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That's about all it's going to do for you.
Here's and the amount of water that I was drinking previously to 2 days ago was crazy low. Like, I think everybody feels that way, but I especially was drinking no water whatsoever, just mainly energy drinks. So I realized that I either have to drink no water or all of the water. I can't live in this world where it's I just sort of get it when I can. Or
Right.
I gotta be a drug addict about how I drink water.
Well, I drink water. I quit booze. And when I quit booze, I started using sparkling water.
Uh-huh.
And now I crush a 15-pack of that a day, every day.
I already have to piss again. I'm telling you.
This is why you don't chug water. You just slowly drink all day.
I'm going to go take a piss. Keep the show going.
Okay. You don't understand how many people from Too Hot to Handle, Netflix, reality TV stars and social media influencers who come into this very studio with these exact water bottles, but it looks so different with Ramsey because this is about as tall as Ramsey is. Usually the guys come in Harry Jousey comes in here. He's 6'5". He's got a six-pack. He's got tiny shorts on. His hog is just fully outlined. He's talking about some porn star he banged in Miami for 4 hours. And then he drinks this, and it looks normal on him. But for Ramsey, it's a little sad. I'm not going to lie. It's a little bit.
I feel like every attribute of that water bottle is annoying.
There's
every
not
little attribute.
I don't like the fade. Hollywood, if you come to Hollywood, you'll notice that they are obsessed with lights that fade into other colors. Mm-hmm. Like the airport does that, where it's the rainbow colors kind of evolve into each other.
Yeah.
This is the tackiest city in the world. Please write in what you guys drink your water out of, mostly. Are we a tap water audience? Are we a water bottle audience? Sparkling water? No water? What are we doing here? Oh, Christ. Tyler, how much water do you drink a day?
Not enough. But I was going to ask, when they say how much water you're supposed to drink a day, don't you get most of your water from the food you're eating?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Is it?
What you're telling me that you eat a celery stick and that's a glass of water?
No, but whatever the nutrients you're getting from water, aren't they also in food?
You don't drink water for nutrients, dog. You drink water.
I'm very tired right now.
You drink water to hydrate. I can't eat. I
don't get hydrated from food at all.
No, I mean, you eat watermelon, it's 70% water, you're getting some water, but no, you hydrate from drinking water. Tyler thinks that you actually get the majority of your water from the food you eat.
I really love this.
And he also said that the minerals, he said the nutrients you get from drinking water, you also get from your food. No, you don't drink water for nutrients.
Yeah, I walked in. That was when I opened the door and I walked back in here. I was laughing because on the way in here, there's a doctor's office or a psychiatrist or something.
I don't know.
I just passed by him and I thought how different the knowledge levels between these offices are. Because I literally passed by a psychiatrist, a man with a doctorate.
Yep.
And I walk into this room and Tyler's going, I personally get most of my nutrients from just tap water.
Chicken fingers. I mean, I eat chicken fingers. There's water in the chicken, and that's where I get my water from. I get chicken water.
Let's listen.
What are
man.
you even Googling, Tyler? What are you looking up to prove?
Google.
Tyler took to the internet to back up his insane statement.
I
The only
do.
thing is I don't. It just a pop-up is in a different language, but I might have found something.
What did
It
you
says
find?
myth or fact. Water you get from food is enough to stay hydrated.
Okay, I think it's
Myth
probably.
or fact?
I
I
think.
want to find out. I'm telling-
Tyler, I think.
I
it's-
don't eat meat. I eat a bunch of vegetables.
Yeah, I think it's probably a myth. I do.
I
but
really think you need to drink water to get water. I know
I
that
know.
sounds crazy.
No, I, of course, but I'm saying that I had heard before that when people say this is how much water you need, they're not thinking about that. You're getting hydration from food.
Tyler. There's also like Monster Energy drink is probably 99% water.
Yeah, that's true. That's
It's
true.
very dehydrating.
Do you? By the way, caffeine is. It's actually a myth that it's dehydrating. That's dehydrating. I'm here to
According
spell
to
that.
who?
Right?
Are you working for Big Energy Drink?
I'm working for. I'm currently a lobbyist for Rockstar.
To replace water in elementary schools? Is that what you're going for?
I'm like the. Thank you for chugging. I got it real quick. Do you think they're still gonna let us use the studio here if Tyler puts a bunch of viruses on your computer for
some foreign website proving he doesn't need water, and it's just some evil country that like all the water's been privatized, or
the Russians are just putting viruses?
The videos to answer the question look like that. They look insane.
They have to. Tyler,
go ahead and press play on one of those, Tyler. Let's just see. It's gonna be an old '90s hacker face coming on. Myth or fact?
The water you get from food
Okay.
is enough to stay hydrated.
That's the end of the video.
The water we get
Oh,
from
that's
food
the intro.
rarely exceeds 20% of our total water intake. Even if your diet is extremely
Picture
high
that
in
quick.
fruits and vegetables and soups, you will rarely exceed probably 30 to 40% of your total water intake. So the answer is no. It's practically impossible to stay hydrated if you just wait to get your water from solid foods.
Is this the dictator of
So
Turkmenistan?
This is definitely a big myth.
It's not a big myth. It's only, maybe it is a big myth because Tyler believed it.
It was
but
still 20%. 20% of your hydration intake could come from vegetables. He said up to 30 to 40% if you eat a lot of vegetables.
These water bottles, Tyler.
I'm not completely wrong.
Would you take one as a form of payment for the show? I'll buy you one of these if you would accept it as a form of payment for the show.
I would need abuse on mine. That's the only way it would work for me.
Abusive ones.
Yeah, that positive shit makes me disgusted.
Listen, you've got problems with yourself, and that's for you to take out on yourself.
Yeah.
Keep that shit off our show.
The last one would be like, and you still feel like shit, don't you, dipshit, fuckhead?
It would be true. That would be an honest one.
Yeah.
But people don't want honesty on their water bottles, dog.
What? It's like first step, why are you drinking? Second step, do you really want to live longer? Third step, this is so stupid and pointless.
You flip it over on the back, and it's just a mirror. And it's like, look at yourself, idiot. You're still ugly.
All this water is just making your head bigger, dummy.
Well, listen. Don't be hating on hydration. Okay.
I hydrate. This shit is so annoying to me. I hate motivational speakers. I'm not encouraged by this kind of shit. To me, I just picture like, the oil that went into making this thing.
Yeah.
The war over the oil.
I pictured all of
the
that
child
stuff.
slave that
Yeah.
printed this.
Without a question. Yeah, they had the right good morning and feeling awesome.
While they're getting whipped
Yeah.
by Dick Cheney.
I bought this from, this is locally sourced. I bought this from a local person who bought it from, one of those people. I don't want to know nothing. I'm talking to Target. Don't tell me.
Now this is not oil plastic, right? This is this is like wood plastic.
This is that oil that we get from peas every year, right?
Is this olive oil? An olive branch oil?
Yeah, of course, without a doubt. It's good. It's low fat. It's awesome.
Can we make plastic out of olive oil?
I don't think
Does
so.
it have to be?
Which is hilarious that that's the land. The worthless oil is where I'm from.
Right.
Ramsey Badawi, his family is deep in the worst kind of oil. One step above canola oil money.
Maybe we should do some housekeeping and then get into Palestine.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good place to end the pre-ramble. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Now you can set up the show while I pee.
Yeah, go do it.
It's the worst hour of the week with Brian Vokey and Ramsey Badawi.
Fucking eyeballs, dude. My eyeballs are...
Tyler, okay, well, let me set the show up here. I'll set the show up while Brian goes to piss, and then I want to know about your eyeballs, okay? Worst Hour Podcast, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We have a wonderful show for you today. Let's see here. Tyler, did you hear about this? 6 Palestinians escaped from a high-security prison?
No.
So, that's a story it's a pretty big international story, but not talked about here in the United States as much. I mean, we got our own shit going on. 9/11 pre-trials, update on Afghanistan, and then there's also this cement company in France that is in trouble for doing business with ISIS. So that's pretty interesting. It's kind of, well, because you realize, you're like, oh yeah, like ISIS needs people to do business with.
Yeah, they're going to build something.
They got to build shit. So this is a cement company that's literally just like got business done with ISIS. And I don't know. I don't think people are really paying enough attention to how much business gets done with them. How many millionaires have to be on the other side of the table with ISIS? It's crazy.
They serve tea at that business meeting?
Probably. Yeah. Tyler, why are your eyes so tired? What's going on?
Oh, well, I'm just very tired.
You're very tired. He said his eyes hurt. Sorry, that's what you said.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he did just read a couple things on the computer.
Tyler, how long does it take you to type? do you type fast? Or?
No, I can't type fast.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, the distance he has to cover with those fingers on the keyboard. I mean,
Yeah, he's like...
the keyboard looks like a grand piano to him.
You know what's funny? I bought a guitar and tried to learn how to play guitar. And I can't. I think my hands are too small for a normal guitar.
Yeah, you need to play a ukulele.
It still looks like a banjo without his hands. It looks like a sitar. Tyler went to get a guitar. He's like, no, I said guitar, not sitar.
Yeah. Now, Tyler, when you type, is it just index finger for you?
No, I kind of just like hover over and tap like that.
You take
Well, that's what typing is.
But maybe a little, but maybe a little more like not like in the middle between just the one finger and a couple of.
Did you take computer classes and stuff in high school?
Yeah, you had to.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, you were. I just started taking like typing like on the way out of high school.
Oh, I was in second grade. We had to go to the computer lab and type in second grade.
I don't think I got any computer experience. I don't think I saw a computer until I was like 15.
In Orange County?
Yeah, man. I feel like I guess I went to a shitty school.
I think you did.
There was no computer action going on.
I'm 6 years older than you, and I was in second grade working on computers.
They literally tried to teach us computers 12th grade. They're like, well, on the way out, you're going to need to know how to do this thing real quick.
This is literally the only skill you need, really. Everything else is irrelevant.
It turns out nothing else matters.
You know cursive,
Yeah.
but you don't know how to fucking type.
Out the window. All of that stuff. But did you have to do the stuff where they put the mask over the computer and you got to do the thing where you type?
I don't think there was a mask over it, but you would have to look up and type, and then you would get graded on your errors and your speed.
We had a mask over ours where you had to type with the mask on, and that was a fucking crazy, like, what an unnecessary skill.
Yeah, I know.
Knowing we're all, well, I guess
if you're gonna be a stenographer, I guess that's a good skill.
I guess it just defeats the complete purpose of what we were saying before, so I'll cut that part out.
No, there's a difference between knowing how to blindly type and knowing how to type at all. I think you do need to type.
No, I defeated myself.
Hey, man, hold on. Almost finished. You did it. Keep chugging.
I want to say September 16th, Hollywood Improv, very important. Everybody's got to go. If you're listening to the show and you live within a 400-mile radius, I do think you should come.
I implore, if you are a fan of Worst Hour Pod, and you would like Worst Hour Pod to kind of turn into a live
event. Experience. Well, I would say experience.
Yeah, it's a live experience. Please, okay, so the link will be in the show notes to buy tickets. It's $12, and what's so sick about this is it's a smaller room in the Improv, so it's like a really intimate venue.
Yeah, and it's the Hollywood Improv, which is a nice place to have a live show. I think it would be a good.
It is a
good
comedy club, but there's a no drink minimum. All you do is you buy a ticket and you show up. You can choose to drink or not. You don't have to buy 2 things like every other comedy club.
Yeah.
The show is called Adrenaline, and Ramsey Badawi is on the show.
Yes.
I'm hosting the show, and it's going to be a lot of the people in the lineup are going to be fucking huge because here's the deal. There's only 2 shows a night at the Hollywood Improv. There's a ton of amazing comedians living in Los Angeles, and there is a desert of spots. It's dried up. So I have access to all the comedians in Los Angeles because they're all desperate for spots.
Yeah, and they'll go to the Improv.
So the lineup is going to be massive. I'm not going to announce the lineup because I want to make it as stacked as possible, so I'm going to be booking it to the last minute with the biggest names I can possibly get.
You already know I'm going to be there, so huge, huge names.
$12, September 16th, 8:30 p.m., Hollywood Improv Lab. Ramsey Badawi and myself will be on there, and if this show goes well, it's going to turn into a live Worst Hour event. Thank you.
Is it all right to turn that light on?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just I'm going to look different than you.
$12?
$12.
$12 for the tickets?
$12, no drink minimum.
They used to be $10.
They did.
Inflation's interesting, isn't it, folks? Turns out it's here.
I desperately need you guys to come so that we can turn, because I want Worst Hour to have a live show. The only way, this is kind of one of those, like, you need to prove yourself, fucking kid.
Yeah,
so sell some tickets and get people out.
Just so everybody knows that in the way inflation goes, in 20 years, it'll be a 4-drink minimum. You'll be like, dude, back in my day, you only had to do 2 drinks at
I'll
the
be
comedy
400
club.
pounds eating chicken fingers in the back of a comedy club, dipping it into barbecue sauce while my feature is disgusted at me. And I'm like, back in the day, it was only a 2-drink minimum.
The comedy club is going to be like, we can't afford to stay in business unless we make $50 on each of you. Like, 4-drink minimum is so much money.
It's so much money.
Well, this is how
$50 plus the ticket, which was probably going to be at that point $300.
This is how inflation works. This bottle pre-pandemic would have cost me like $23.
What did it cost you? How much did you pay for that thing?
$25.
$25 for a water bottle.
Yeah.
Damn. I honestly thought you were gonna say like 35 or 40.
Dude, see,
I thought you were gonna say some nonsense.
Now
I still think he did.
Now
say
Tyler's in. See that? That easy. That easy. Tyler, use the promo code Big Ass Ram Dog.
I couldn't hold that thing. It's got grips on it. There's no way I could hold it.
Dude. Oh, we gotta.
Yeah,
you don't need your face in there. Let's just
Patreon.
Patreon's
got that.
We're gonna do the water bottle challenge. We're gonna have Tyler try to grip this water bottle. Yeah, you're right. That's a Patreon stunt.
If you're listening to the show, tune in 2 hours. We'll post this on Patreon. So it'll be Thursday.
You know that famous Michael Jordan poster where he's holding 2 basketballs out? It'd be really funny to do that with Tyler with baseballs. Just holding 2 baseballs out.
2 golf balls. But we paint the golf balls to look like basketballs. Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, that's beautiful.
People on the YouTube channel were actually saying, somebody who said, I'm dying to see Tyler's hands.
Yeah, well, join the Patreon and we're going to watch him try to grip. You know what we'll do? We'll keep him off camera. We'll just put his hand into the frame.
Yeah.
And then we'll watch him try to grab the thing like he's Dr. Claw and Inspector Gadget.
I don't want, if Tyler's full figure is on camera, chicks are gonna start fingering themselves.
Dude, Tyler showed me a thirst trap picture he has of himself.
I don't even want to. I don't want to. I don't want to have those questions this early in the morning.
Okay, well, he's wearing tight jeans. He's laying down on a couch shirtless. And he's got his ass in the air, tight jeans around his booty, ripped back. Tyler's got a ripped back, and he's a little soft in the front, but he's laying on his belly, so you can't see.
But that's because Tyler hasn't been trying. Like, I feel like Tyler gives it 10 push-ups and it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's one of those dudes. You build muscle quick, yeah?
Yeah. I stopped eating meat like 2 months ago. I almost have a six-pack already.
See what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
dude is so honestly, there's a little bit of blood that moved through to my genitalia when Tyler said that. It's just such a force, you know?
September 16th, Hollywood Improv, $12. Bryan Vokey, Ramsey Badawi, live stand-up comedy. Going to be the best show of the year. Please come on out. We need you. And if you come on out, ooh, what if I did this?
Okay.
Now, I'm pitching this idea in real time, so we can cut this out. But what if you come to the show, you buy a ticket, you tell me that you found out about the show through the podcast?
Yeah.
What if I gave you a free month of Patreon?
Ooh, that would be good. Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's completely fine. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So if you buy tickets to the show and you come up to me at the show and you tell me I bought tickets because I found out about the show through Worst Hour Pod, I'll take down your email. I'll add you to Patreon. You'll get a free month of Patreon.
Free month of Patreon. Not bad. Not a bad.
There's like 100 hours of
There's so
fucking
much shit.
shows there. So,
Yeah, it's a good deal for sure.
and if you're already on the Patreon,
I still need those $12. Still gonna need it would be really appreciated.
if you're already on the Patreon, message the show, message me.
Yeah, we'll for
and we'll
sure
get you
in.
tickets.
Yeah,
We'll
you're
get
in
you
for
tickets.
sure. There's no question about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us 5 stars on the podcast app, please. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm telling you, man, people are getting really into Tyler on the YouTube.
They really are.
It's because YouTube skews 80% men. They like it. That's a fact that I've heard Jordan Peterson recite. It skews 80% men, so they probably like Tyler.
What if we took it on the road?
Uh-huh.
Podcast opens and Tyler does like a magic mic thing after the podcast. Would that be nice?
I honestly think that would be worth 10 extra bucks on the ticket, and we'd give Tyler like $3 or $4 bucks.
Tyler,
per
what
ticket.
song would you dance to?
Dude,
Would you would you go R&B? Would you go metal? Would you go like kind of moody 80s?
I feel like
I'd
Tyler
probably go
would-
like hair metal, but like something where I can still be a little effeminate.
Yeah, okay. I think you're not gonna have a hard time finding that in hair metal.
maybe unskinny bop.
I think Tyler could be. I could totally see him doing it to like Green Day.
Comes out in a tie. Oh, that's perfect. No shirt and a tie. Don't want to be an American idiot.
With a faux hawk.
Yeah, a faux hawk eyeliner on, kind of messy.
I tell you, this is the best idea I've ever heard in my life.
So Worst Hour opens. There's no ego here, Tyler. We know what people are here for.
If
Worst Hour opens and Tyler dances the headline.
If enough of you buy tickets, seriously, if enough of you buy tickets on for the 16th, the show after that will definitely feature. Maybe not Tyler doing that, but we'll get somewhere in between.
I'll figure out if the Improv will let me install a pole on the stage. I'll figure that out. I'll run it by him. I mean, I imagine it's like totally fine.
Not only that, I go beyond giving you a pole. I'm securing the ceiling a little bit better.
Exactly.
This thing is it's gonna make sure.
It's a structural thing. Earthquakes are a thing, and you gotta be prepared.
I love the idea of a guy who runs an underground strip club.
Trying
and
to
he's-
say it's structural.
he's like, it's all structural. It's all. I like this idea very much. Let's do it. All right. Anything else to plug? No. Let's get into today's show. The Palestinian escape from the high security prison. 6 Palestinians basically burrowed.
They Shawshanked themselves.
They Shawshanked.
El Chapo'd.
Without a doubt. It's one of the most incredible things I've ever heard. If you click to open that first link, Tyler, these dudes, this is a high security prison in Israel, which to me is like the joke is like if you want to pick the harshest place or the best security, it's going to be Israel.
Yep.
So 6 dudes basically spent years burrowing out of this prison.
Below a toilet. That was where they dug. They dug below a toilet. So it makes me wonder if they weren't able to use the toilet for
I think
years.
they were just going right for it. I do. I think. Well, the opening is incredible too. By the way, like how small they had to get.
Yeah.
Which again, I'll tell you, this could be a tell right here. But play this video real quick.
A 4 a.m. head count uncovered one of Israel's biggest security lapses in recent memory. 6 Palestinian prisoners in a high-security facility had vanished overnight.
It's a really nice
in their
hole.
cell floor.
Look how small that hole is.
This wasn't exactly a case of just.
I mean, we're talking about these guys got through like a 8x11 hole, like it's the size of a printer paper.
There's no way they could drink as much water as you and fit through that hole.
No doubt.
North of the occupied West Bank was built
The
quickly.
Israelis had no idea that when they were starving them, they were just making it easier for them to get out.
So I'll tell you right now, there's
was prevented and remedial work carried out, but the weakness remained. The 6 cellmates emerged through this hole directly under a watchtower in what Israel says was a coordinated operation with help from the outside.
How do they not have like a camera? That's the thing.
Well, if they're asleep, because the guards fell asleep. So if they're asleep, who cares who's watching the camera?
So they were waiting. Maybe they had this thing.
Well, they had guys probably with binoculars looking at the tower, being like, "This dude's asleep. Get the fuck out of here."
This is my dad's hometown. Is Jenin.
Yeah. So pause it, Tyler. One of them wasn't charged with anything. One of them was just some guy who was being held with no charge, which is illegal.
Two were that way. I know. I have a personal connection to 2 of the people who were. Now this could be false. Maybe they had child porn on them. I don't know what my family's telling me.
Well, I know the news is reporting that they had no charges.
The 2 guys, and this is something that was very common in Palestine. I know personally many people. I know 2 people, which is too many people to know that this happened to, where they get arrested and there's no charges put against them. There was a guy who used to live by my grandmother's who was like a falafel shop owner, and at one point he just kind of got a little religious, so he started going to the mosque a little bit more and started growing his beard out. They literally just jailed him, and that was just that. Like,
just based on the fact that he was going to the mosque a little bit more.
Just going to the mosque a little bit more, so they just.
He had a midlife crisis.
When you live in Palestine, there aren't a lot of things to do.
Right. So if you want to go through a personal transformation, it's generally just get even more religious.
Yeah, it's not like they're like, well, I either go to the mosque or 24-hour fitness. Which one? Which one should I do?
Like he's like, maybe I'll be gay.
Not a lot of like, well, no, but I do some online gaming. Not a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Not a lot of like, you know what? We're all going down to the movies.
Bodybuilding?
You would think so. There's probably some bodybuilding going on, but again, that's the most positive outcome.
Right.
It's like when people go to prison, the most positive thing that happens is some guys get ripped.
Yeah.
But then some guys get ripped and then do evil with that rippedness.
Right. Yeah, 100%. So now but the other 4 were a part of the Intifada.
Intifada, which that's completely fine. But their role in that was undefined. I have not seen, because
it's when you hear like the charges against him, it's very vague. It's got a Guantanamo Bay kind of vibe to it.
Depending on what they say, to imprison somebody for their role in the Intifada is like saying I'm imprisoning somebody for their role in Antifa.
Right.
Where you're just like, what does that mean? Like you're like an idea, like you're my role in the idea.
Sympathetic to a cause.
So, but maybe it's illegal over there. I have no idea. So 2 of these guys were my uncle's wife's family that escaped. So it's a pretty direct connection. My mother called them, and she said that they were literally there was just partying going on, like in the streets. People were walking around, handing each other baklavas. Shit was wild, dude.
So, but those guys, they weren't. They're like underground, right? They're not.
Nobody knows where they're at.
They weren't at the party.
They are.
I don't want to blow up their spot.
They are likely in Jordan, hopefully in Turkey. Turkey, I don't think. To me, that's the best place to go. Like, I think Turkey would recognize them as refugees or give them asylum on some capacity. Because they'll go, we were in prison for unjust reason. And the only people who will acknowledge any indecency on Israel's part is a fucked up, crazy place.
Of course. I was going to say, like, Iran would be, but that's the wrong religion, maybe.
But they'll take them. Iran would probably still take them. You want to go to Turkey.
Yeah, I mean,
you go out as chicks.
You're asking me, yeah, Iran or Turkey. I'm going to Turkey every time.
Exactly. Like you want to go. I think there's a closer cultural connection to the Turks than there is to the Iranians. So,
right.
But the Iranians, my dad has really gotten soft on the Iranians. They've been so steadfast with Palestine. Every single day, that guy hops on the Khomeini hops on Twitter, and he's like throwing out like, positive things about Palestine. And
I feel like there's nothing more Palestinian than buying into, the thinly veiled anti-Semitism as love. You know what I mean? I think deep down Iran doesn't give a shit about Palestine. They just hate
they don't
Israel.
Care. They don't. Yes,
they
you're
hate
right.
Israel.
That is correct. That is 1,000% correct. They have They don't care who it is.
Right.
They will. It could have been dogs. They would have wanted to rescue them.
Yeah, 100%. And then maybe that they might have. Who knows what the Persian word for Palestinian is? Could be something terrible.
I don't know. Yeah, I've never. I know a lot of Persian dudes. I don't feel an intense Palestinian-Persian connection going on. Some difference going on over there.
Yeah.
But
well, congratulations to the extended family. I mean, you no matter what the person did, it's really hard to hear a story about somebody escaping prison and not wanting to root for them immediately. You know what I mean?
You're almost like, I feel like, sorry, I mean, I know this is kind of the premise of holes here, but I feel like by digging that hole, he must have mastered himself. Like the shit that you need to do to tunnel out of a prison, like I feel like that guy learned all of the lessons he needed to learn.
And I bet once they started getting some progress, I bet prison was a breeze.
Oh,
too. When you
hope.
Yeah, you have hope. So, like, I'm sure all day, he was probably just feeling good, just like kind of.
And obsessing, just being in his cell, just being like, now if I use a spoon, that'll be too obvious. He's like thinking about this thing 24/7.
Optimism, hope. I mean, all these things that were helping him get through the day. I mean, it must have been a nice little last few months.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt.
It just sounds like you're describing Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah. Can you imagine when they see the sunlight come through the top of that hole? Last thing, the sunlight comes through, and it was some brutal sun, I bet.
And they, you know what rules too? Dude, jihadism has to be awesome because they're gonna pop out of there and be like. I'm not saying they necessarily have to have this point of view, but I think that there's got to be a little bit of that.
Dude, I'll tell you how sick it must be for them to participate in jihadism. The French shooting, the Paris shootings. Yeah. Remember the Eagles of Death Metal shooting? 130 people died by ISIS in Paris. That trial started today. I think today or yesterday. And
court takes so long.
I know. It's 6 years ago. There's only one surviving active shooter. Everybody else we'll get into that later. Everybody else was a mastermind. But the one guy, they're like, please identify yourself. And before he identified himself, he goes, real quick, I just want to say there's only one God. His name's Allah and his prophet is Muhammad. And the judge goes, we'll talk about that later.
They're gonna rule it. They're gonna make a ruling on it.
We'll talk about that later. Like as if that's up for debate.
Yeah,
we'll get into your wacky bullshit in a little bit. But can you imagine? He's been in prison for 6 years. He knows what he's facing, and he's still just like, this is he's still fired up about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, I'm not a supporter of anybody being, jihad. Of course, doesn't inherently have to be violent in any capacity. You can have an internal jihad, but the way Americans hear jihad, that's the word.
Well, there's no doubt that those guys are jihadists. It's
exactly.
They're not every jihadist.
It's got to be pretty good is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's got to be motivating. I wish sometimes I had a little jihad in my life.
Well, that's why I think that's the point we're really getting at is that when we see somebody fulfilled and have a purpose, it's attractive because we're the holes that they climbed through. You know what I mean? We're just holes. We have nothing.
If what my parents say about these guys is true, which it's probably not, but if what they say is true, it's probably half true. Is honestly what it is. These guys probably deserve to get out. Probably didn't have anything on them.
The Palestinians, not the Parisians.
Yeah, the Palestinians. Exactly.
Those guys murdered 130 people for sure.
Well, hold on. Let me talk about those guys for a second because it's pretty rough for them out there in France or wherever. So, it's just inspirational, man. It was one of the this is how fucked up Palestine is. That was the most positive story that's ever come out of Palestine in a decade.
Six guys popping out of a hole in the ground.
I felt a huge sense of pride swell in me.
How long do you think they last?
You know what's funny is I want to say they're instantly caught, but I'm actually like, these guys did something so impossible that I think they might know something.
Yeah.
I think there may be a team also helping them. Like
there absolutely was a team. They said there was. Well, they don't know for a fact, but they were like the only way this had to have worked was with help.
But I'll tell you this right now. That's also what I would say. If I fucking...
Of course. This is a highly coordinated attack because apparently the Israeli prison guards were literally asleep.
Yeah.
Knocked out.
My girlfriend catches me cheating on her. This is this obviously the CIA stepped in on this one.
Yeah, this is a highly coordinated attack. They got me drunk. They put a girl next to me.
They made us talk for a few weeks.
They manipulated me into approaching her. I don't even know how they did that.
Yeah, you don't want to blame I fell asleep on the job for that one.
No, it's not a good look.
But hey, man, again, just wanted to open up with a positive story about Palestine for...
How much you want to bet Israelis will now, those prisons will just have motion-censored machine guns now?
Just for safety,
Just for safety. Every animal in the region is just slaughtered.
I was going to say this during the video, but I didn't want to talk over it. According to my mother, because my mom is in the Palestinian Facebook circles...
Sure.
So here's the problem.
That's probably really monitored.
It's not only is it probably monitored, but I gotta believe there's a lot of misinformation going on there as well. It's a challenging subject to even talk about because you're like, obviously I'm pro-Palestinian, and obviously, but I gotta believe there's a lot of fuckery going on Facebook that's like. So my mom was like, they didn't feed any prisoners in Palestine that day as like a punishment for the guys who escaped. Like they're taking it out on the prisoners.
I believe that.
I believe that, but also it's like I don't know if that could also be easily fake.
Of course that could be fake, but I know in the military,
and I didn't look into it, by the way.
Right, I know in the military I got in trouble for doing something, and because I was acting like an individual, they didn't punish me. They punished everybody else in my platoon, and they made them thank me as they were doing push-ups. Thank you, PSC Voki.
So it makes them go. As a unit, like now if I do push-ups with my unit, I feel worse about making my unit do push-ups.
Right. Well, and I'm just standing there because I'm not getting tired. I don't have to do push-ups every time they walk in. The first sergeant walks in the room, but they have to thank me. So it makes them want to beat my ass for me because I was being different, because I was being an individual.
Yeah.
So it's a normal tactic. So I bet they did that.
Rough times for those guys, but I think if I was in a Palestinian prison, and I heard somebody broke out, I would be happy to not eat that day.
Yeah, one day off. This is these people fast.
Just for that story of hope.
Yeah.
Just to go like, oh, it's possible. Like I bet you a bunch of Palestinians didn't even want to eat that day. They were so excited.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I can't fucking believe
you
it.
ever been like really almost manic happy?
Yeah,
you don't eat shit.
You could dig. They were doing a lot of hand digging. I was even reading, which is insane.
Yeah, just fucked up fingernails, bleeding.
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Brutal.
Probably other Palestinian skeletons in the dirt.
Oh yeah, passing by. Yeah, I don't even want to know what's underground there. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. It'd be so funny if they just dig and accidentally hit an Israeli landmine and it just blows everybody free. It just blows up the whole ground. Everybody just walks out.
Blows just the front door off. So funny. The 9/11 trial for Khalid Sheik Mohammad. Well, I should say the pre-trial is in. Mm-hmm. I've been waiting for this, dude.
The pre-trial. We've actually done a few episodes. Remember, I said I was going to sell T-shirts outside of it.
Yeah, it's supposed to start. It's supposed to start this year, dude. I cannot believe.
Why did it take 20 years?
Dude, you can. If you do 9/11, you got 20 years afterwards.
At
if you
least
do something
in
that
prison.
crazy.
Yeah.
You got 20 years on you.
Dude, and isn't 9/11, aren't all the documents getting declassified too? Didn't Biden say, yeah, he's declassifying the 9/11 documents?
That is so crazy that it's taken so long to get so many questions answered. I cannot wait to read those. We should do a live reading on air And then we should Mad Lib the redacted parts.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say 90% of it's probably redacted.
Yeah, whatever.
It's probably just one. Like they probably went through 4 million Sharpies.
Whatever's redacted, it'll be like no.
Yeah.
That would be a fun Mad Lib book to sell, by the way.
The redacted 9/11 Chronicles.
Yeah, you do it, and then you you just insert the things.
The only thing is, we wouldn't even know to put a noun or an adjective. We'd have to use a lot of context
On September 11th, a
because it's entire sentences.
purple dog flew into a purple cocoon.
Yeah, for
Not
our listeners,
purple
it would
this
all be
one.
like a giant cock flew into a titty, and and Pussy 7 fell 3 hours later, and then
I love it.
God,
I
yeah.
think this is one of the best. That's actually something we could sell. So when those come out, Tyler, you're gonna have to read them and tell us what happened.
I can't wait till we get blasted by the news like Lester Holt. Podcasters made a Mad Libs book out of the redacted 9/11 report.
You want to see my impression of Tyler reading the 9/11 report?
Now, for those listening at home, Tyler is a small man.
No. Hey, if you're listening at home,
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
You fucking idiots. You can see that great impression.
YouTube.com/worsthourpod.
All right.
That's so funny.
Can you play this video with pertaining to the Khalid Sheik Mohammed's trial? I wanna check out what's going on in the pre-trial.
Wonder what color his beard's gonna be for this one.
Probably a reddish color.
Still, you think it's still Barry dyed?
He dyed it with Barry. Yeah. Hit play.
Just days before the anniversary of 9/11, the pre-trial hearing for the alleged mastermind of the terror attacks, Khalid Sheik Mohammad, is set to resume. 4 others linked to the attacks are also facing court proceedings today. NBC News national security correspondent Ken Delaney joins us now from the military court in Guantanamo Bay. So, Ken, first of all, remind us, who is Khalid
Dude,
Sheik
I would love to go to
Mohammad,
Guantanamo
and
Bay.
what
Can
is
you
the
just
role
go?
accused of playing in 9/11?
I think if you have a press pass,
We gotta get a press pass. What holds us from getting a press pass? I'd love to go to Gitmo.
it'd be sick.
That's one of the only times.
Wait, can you pause this?
If I got to go to Guantanamo Bay, that would be the only time you would ever see the stories function on my Instagram used. Like, you know when people use the stories where they're documenting excessively? Like,
Yeah.
I finally now get that. Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, imagine if, like, you were at Guantanamo Bay. I'd be taking
Yeah.
pictures. Me and Brian would be on each other.
Yeah, we would
doing a human pyramid with one another. Like,
we'd be in orange jumpsuits on our knees. Here I am, not eating.
Brian is dressed like a dog. I'm dressed like a prisoner. And he's, like, shaking my arm.
I'm biting his arm. Yeah,
I'm naked.
Yeah, that would be. We'd be like kids in candy stores.
Ooh, that would be a good Halloween costume. Is if you were naked, but you're like, I'm actually one of the Guantanamo Bay prisoners.
What if we did a live podcast from Gitmo?
From Gitmo? Oh, without a doubt. If they're allowing people with press passes to go on, there's no reason why I shouldn't be able to throw to Tyler. And
Do they have
and
any-
Tyler's in Guantanamo Bay.
It's like a Johnny Cash live at Folsom thing.
Yeah.
like that's do they get entertainment down there?
I'm gonna look it up. Let's finish this and then we will look it up.
By the way, just real quick, just for context of how long this trial took, that guy said, now remind us exactly, who is Khalid Sheik Mohammad? That's how long they waited for the trial, where we're like, wait, what did he do? 9/11? What was 9/11 again?
Yeah. It's eventually going to get to place, and that's what's interesting about this particular thing that Khalid Sheik Mohammad did. At some point, people forget you. You realize.
It's a good move.
It's a good move.
Yeah. Just wait 20 years.
Just like, certain crimes, people just let it go. All right, hit play.
Of an operation from A to Z. That was in a 2007 confession.
Dude, look how beautiful. Look how
Scary,
beautiful he
man.
is.
He's a
He's
scary.
gorgeous.
About KSM. He planned it, he conceived it,
He looks like Ron Jeremy when he cuts his beard.
He does. Dude, that's the classic KSM pick. Yeah.
captured him in Pakistan in 2003.
Dude, you could see how he was a hot dude in his youth.
He's got a sweater of hair.
Gets sticky. We now know
That picture of him with the long beard, that was gorgeous.
Yeah, kind of.
a lot of really nasty things were done to him, and then he was transferred to Guantanamo Bay and interviewed separately. By the
Guantanamo
FBI.
Bay looks beautiful. That's
Cuba. It's a Caribbean island.
That's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's a cruise stop.
But now some of those confessions are under challenge by defense lawyers who say they were tainted by torture, and that is one of the issues in these endless pretrial hearings that are happening here at Guantanamo Bay and that resume in the courtroom today.
That's a great thing. Pazan, there's nothing more American than getting away with 9/11 because the cops illegally tortured a confession out of you.
Yeah.
That is the most American story you could ever have.
I don't even.
He's got a podcast after, he's on Rogan.
KSM did so much stuff not using the internet. I don't even know how you get it on him. Truthfully, like how do you prove pre-2001 that people talked in Pakistan?
I love how you say KSM, Khalid Sheik Mohammad, for those listening at home.
I like.
It's not exactly MBS.
KSM, it rolls off the tongue a little bit.
No, it sounds great.
Yeah.
KSM sounds great, but I mean, it doesn't have that recognition.
Totally.
It sounds like you were talking to some pre-ISIS group.
Well, just real quick, and I just want to say we wish him well. We wish him a speedy trial.
Listen, if the confession was gathered illegally, democracy needs to work.
Yeah,
You need to let the guy who did 9/11 walk.
I have a feeling that if they suspect you did 9/11, it's pretty much over. Like I don't know that I can't see. What if he pleads insane?
Yeah, I mean, look at his beard.
I would totally do that. But Your Honor, I was out of my mind back then.
I had a Snickers.
I was 22 or whatever. He's probably 31. I was 31 at the time. I thought I could take on the world, and in reality,
I was wrong. Although I kind of did. I mean, you guys are still in wars that I kind of started. So
yeah, my plan is according to plan. I mean, it went exactly as we thought it would go.
But I'm crazy. No, but I think that he if he gets away, I mean, do you really need to torture the confession out of him? Because if you planned 9/11, you're ready to die.
Yeah.
If you plan 9/11 and then it works, you're going to tell every motherfucker you run into. They're not going to need to tase your taint to get it out of you. You're going to be like, relax, put the water away.
Yeah.
I'm happy to tell you I did that shit.
Yeah.
I fucking crushed it.
Because you just go, even if you didn't do it, if you were a jihadist and they got the wrong one, you'd be like, oh, absolutely, I did it.
Yeah, of course, you want that credit.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We wish him well. We do. Best of luck, KSM. And if you want to correspond with us, we're open to it.
What if he was our first guest?
Here to Zoom, it would have to be a sketch of him because I've never seen anything of him.
All we do is ask him about ivermectin and shit. We don't even do, and nothing he's qualified to talk about.
What do you think about cancel culture? Do you think that it's cool for comedians to make jokes? I'm thinking as he's talking. Interesting. He has full opinions on it.
Do you think he speaks English?
Oh, probably. Yeah, everybody speaks English.
Okay, cool.
They probably speak English better than you and I, easily.
Well, that's not impressive.
I guess you're probably right about that.
What else is on the docket there?
The other thing I wanted to talk about was the how long have we been recording here, Tyler?
1:15.
We'll just do this last story. There's this company in or really quickly, I guess we'll do Afghanistan. Obviously, still a mess. I wanted to give a quick update on that. The Taliban is cracking down on protesters right now. Could you imagine protesting in Kabul after the United States is gone?
Yeah. No, that's a death wish.
No one's gonna come and save you right here. This is fucking wild. When it comes to doing something courageous with protesting, this is the fucking symbol of it right here.
Yeah, it's almost stupid.
It kind of is. It's just, I think that's what shocks me. And this is what are you people doing?
I know.
I'd be trying to call people. Do you know how I can get to the United States? Should I hop on a donkey and try to ride it to Pakistan to safety or Tajikistan?
Should I tunnel with my hands?
I would not be getting in, doing a poster.
You need to have the whole country behind. You know what I mean? I get protesting Arab Spring style.
Yeah, where it's
everybody's in the streets.
There's no way this is going other than Mubarak's head's got to roll.
Yeah, exactly. But just 10 of you?
Yeah. Hit play on this.
In Afghanistan now.
Ooh, this chick is.
I know. Smoke show.
Smoking.
The air following a protest in Kabul. Shots rang out as the Taliban continued to crack down
Look
on
how crazy
opposition
this
as a
protest
large
footage
group
is.
were reportedly protesting their capture of the Panjshir Valley, the country's last uncontrolled province. This comes as U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken meets with top diplomats in Qatar to thank them for helping transport thousands of Afghan evacuees after the Taliban took control. Charlie D'Agata has more.
They raged in Kabul again today. Anti-Taliban protests that are growing in size.
Now, I don't. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, watch a couple minutes, a couple seconds of this, and then
Sending people scrambling.
they're just straight up firing bullets into the crowd. It's not like rubber bullets. These are extra hard bullets.
Yeah, they're hollow tipped with phosphorus in them.
These bullets were meant to kill us, so they're super serious about it.
Each protest, a bold gamble.
Can I be honest with you? Not the best signs I've ever seen at a protest.
No, well, it's more about just getting them quick and printed.
I imagine the local Michaels there. Like, you saw a reflection of the fact that there is no Michaels.
Yeah.
Outrage over Americans and Afghans still stranded in the country. Satellite images show 6 evacuation planes at the Mazar-e-Sharif airport.
Is this you narrating?
Yeah. Well, I want to show you my new gig.
Taliban for nearly a week.
Nearly Did this guy lose his job at the strip club?
The U.S. government has contacts with the Taliban.
It's the worst voice I've ever heard.
If you hit pause, if you are a professional who does media interviews now, and you don't have a fucking
a ring light,
you're talking to me in your headphone, you should be disqualified for your position. Are you fucking kidding me? I see youth pastors now, and they have the full setup. They have like a green screen behind them, lighting. They have a key light on them. Like,
this is CBS.
Get the fuck out of here with your shit.
I know. Who are you? Why do you talk? Why are you? Also, I mean, these aren't even like ear pods or whatever.
Yeah,
AirPods.
She's literally speaking into the mic, the microphone on her.
She had to plug in the adapter into her iPhone cable.
Yeah.
Just so she could use those headphones that she got at wherever. Yeah, this is terrible. I can't even listen to what's going on. I mean, I literally just saw like hundreds of people being shot, and I can't even follow it.
If you're in this town, I feel like you should have probably got out at this point. I hear you that you don't want to leave your home. I hear you that you got nowhere else to go.
Do you? It sounds like you didn't hear that part.
I hear you. I'm not saying, but I feel like you got to find something at that point. Like, unfortunately, folks, we got no choice.
But do you imagine
the U.S. is gone.
Imagine the optimism you must feel, though, because they made it this long. They were the last unconquered area.
So you were going like, obviously.
Maybe we got something going on here. Maybe, I hate watching you sip out of that thing.
Look, man, I felt a little thirsty.
The way you drink water, it looked like it was like tasted terrible to you. Like you winced. Do you wince every time you drink water?
Hey, man. It's a little bit of took a little bit of my medicine. You know what I mean?
You plugged your nose.
Doctors got me on 3,000 milligrams of H2O, baby.
I'm surprised you don't
Nature's antidepressant.
I'm surprised you don't put like a little bit of like Gatorade powder in there or something just to give it a little bit of a flavor.
I will, behind the Patreon wall, fill this up with an energy drink, and I will drink it for one full episode.
Nobody asked you to do that.
But I will.
No.
I will fill this entire thing. Do they make a decaf Red Bull? They don't, right? That's how you know energy drinks taste bad. They don't make a non-caffeinated version of them.
No. It's not like I need to cut down on caffeine, but I love Red Bull.
I would drink that.
Dude,
a Monster.
You know what?
You would?
If there was decaffeinated Monster, I would start with that.
1,000% with you, because sometimes it's fucking. Does it
still have taurine and guarine and
has everything else,
creatine and whatever the fuck else you guys are eating?
The decaf energy drink removes so much. So many minerals and nutrients.
Could you? Oh my god! Because I imagine, does caffeine have a flavor? Does that mask a little bit of the nutrients?
I don't know. I have caffeine pills. You ever try a caffeine pill before, Tyler?
Yeah.
No-dose?
When I went to air traffic control school, I used to take no-dose like every day.
Yeah. Those rule, and those don't have like a flavor. I feel like
Did they hype you up?
Yeah, sometimes I remember taking too many of them, and I had to take a fucking test, and then I finished the test, and then I just walked around the building for like an hour.
Dude.
I just did laps.
You're having just panic attack.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that fucking.
Yeah,
rules.
I used to take no-dos in the military as well.
I would take them. I would crush them, and I would put them in my sparkling water. This was the beginning of the pandemic when I wasn't going to the grocery stores. I'd be like, I gotta make my. I gotta have an energy drink.
Homemade energy drinks. That's like a bomb shelter energy drink.
I forgot that I did that. I really would just crush them and put them right on top of my energy drink.
You're an absolute addict.
Well, listen, desperate times call for desperate measures, you know?
My big thing when I was working night shifts in the military was Mountain Dew Code Red, though.
Mountain Dew.
I would crush Code Red.
Mountain Dew Code Red is what flavor? Well,
nobody knows.
I was gonna say what flavor is Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
it's Mountain Dew but red.
Yes, I don't know.
It has no discernible. I mean, neither of them do. They don't
Arctic
taste like
Blast. What is that supposed to taste like?
Well, look, cactus,
Polar bear piss.
Cactus Cooler, for example, at least tries to tell you like. It doesn't taste like pineapple. That's not what pineapples taste like.
But it says cactus.
But if you look at it, it's like it's pineapple orange soda.
What does that have to do with cactus?
It's just sort of the branding.
It's just a vibe.
But Mountain Dew is nothing. Like there's nothing that tastes like that.
You know what? Real Mountain Dew is moonshine. That's where they got it from. That's why the old logo was a moonshiner.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so Mountain Dew is a term for moonshine.
But it probably doesn't taste like what Mountain Dew tastes like.
No, it tastes like pure alcohol.
I guess what I'm saying is Sprite is like lemon lime. You know?
Yeah.
Other things are like cherry.
Coca-Cola is...
Cola. Cola. I mean, that's a thing. They invented it. It's their thing. Other people can have cola. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there is a cola nut.
Probably.
Yeah, no, there is, for sure. There's a cola nut.
Either way, look.
I don't like the way you're acting like there might be or there may not be. There 100% is a cola nut.
It's neither here nor there. Okay, let's close this bad boy out. Really quickly, I want to talk about LaFronge.
LaFronge.
How would you say it?
LaFronge.
You think so?
No.
No.
When they're working over there.
Say how you would say it in French, like with a French accent.
Oh, LaFronge.
You think so?
LaFronge.
It's a cement company.
LaFronge.
It's a cement company in Europe and France specifically.
They're called a cement giant or cement giant if you're from Georgia.
They are currently being investigated, or they're currently, I guess they've already lost the trial in the French court system. Or did they win the trial? Hit play, because I'm not sure which one they did.
The factory in northeast Syria, once run by French cement giant LaFronge. Since 2017, French judges have been investigating whether LaFronge paid armed groups, including ISIL, $15 million in protection money to keep the plant running between 2012 and 2014 at the height of Syria's civil war. Although LaFronge evacuated its foreign staff, Syrian employees, including Mustafa, had to keep working.
We asked the company to stop the work, but they didn't stop. The company bears responsibility for all those who were arrested, killed, or kidnapped.
There's a great sentence coming.
Yes, you and I. So there's a guy here.
He went from here to go to his work, and ISIL arrested him and put him in jail. After 4 months, we went to see ISIL and asked about Yassin. They opened his file and told us they executed him.
Shit.
Wait, pause it real quick.
Pause on that.
They opened a folder.
They had a binder. They're like, what's his name again?
You said Mustafa? Oh, it's gonna be a long. It's gonna be a lot of M's. Hang on.
You got
Mahmoud, Mustafa. Mustafa C, Mustafa B, Mustafa W. Okay, here we go.
Do you have a last name? Abu Bakr. Looks like we cut his head off. Just in a file, in a book. Looks like,
you know he made that sound?
Yeah. What do we do? Doused in gasoline, set on fire in a cage. Yeah. Not available for comment. Like, what? They keep files on this shit? What are you talking about?
Well, I guess you got to keep track of the guys that
ISIS is so much more organized than I thought. Also, is it only America that says ISIS? ISIL is the rest of the world?
Yeah.
Is Levant too much of a abstract concept for Americans?
You know, it must be. Well, ISIS was what they introduced themselves at first. This is why you got to try to get it right first time when it comes to branding.
Yeah.
This is a great marketing lesson for as everybody, I know a lot of our listeners are probably going into terrorism marketing.
Yeah.
That's probably what they made.
You can pull it out. It's rare, but are you familiar with the musician John Mellencamp?
Yeah.
You know that name, right?
Yeah.
Do you know his name evolution?
What was it before?
It was John Cougar, and then it was John Cougar Mellencamp,
Yeah.
and then it was John Mellencamp.
Yeah.
He did a great job of ditching the cougar.
Yeah, and so that's the sort of
That's
the
the other
pathway
side.
they should have checked on.
Yeah.
They should have been like, how did John Cougar Mellencamp do it?
ISIS, some guys in the ISIS meeting, they're like, well, we want to change it to ISIL. And they're like, well, people already know ISIS. And he's like, well, but if we do enough work like John Cougar Mellencamp,
people will eventually.
Yeah.
So it was almost inspirational to them. They're like, that's pretty motivational. We like that.
Yeah.
They went too well, so here's what they fucked up with. They just made it too limited in the beginning. We're the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. Like,
Yeah.
All right, I mean, you've really limited yourself there.
Yeah.
The Levant is the whole area. Lebanon, Syria.
Jordan.
I'm a Levantine Arab.
Mhm.
All the Arabs who are just poor.
The non-oil.
The non-oil.
Well, Syria
ones.
has and Iraq has oil, but they don't get
That's
to
true.
sell it. We stole it all.
I would argue Iraq is more of a Gulf
Yes,
state
I'm
than
with
it
you.
is
I'm with you on
in the
that.
Levant, but it might be technically in the Levant.
But
But
they wouldn't have said
culture-
Iraq and Levant. It wouldn't be ISIL. It would be ISIL.
Yes. But either way, I think they figured, they were like, let's be honest. Should we be the Islamic State of the world? Like, let's be real. We're not going to get the world.
No.
I don't think we're going to take on America. I don't think we're going to get Africa back. Let's just keep it at the Levant. That's big.
Right.
It's manageable. It's a
manageable.
goal we can have.
Yeah. We have a lot of sympathetic people in the areas. Also, what I like they do, though, is and now it's just a tack-on thing. It's just a prefix.
Mhm.
It's IS. So there's IS Western African Province. There's IS Afghanistan.
ISIS-K, which is the Afghanistan.
Yeah.
The Afghanistan one. It's very easy to brand. And,
Yes,
and do that
Islamic
kind of
State
stuff.
blank.
Yeah. So, and here's the thing. They weren't going to keep tacking letters onto it because that's just going to get confusing.
Do you know the Arabic word for ISIS?
Daesh. You've read that before,
Yeah,
right?
I've read
With
that.
the D?
Yeah.
That's the Arabic word for ISIS.
And what does that mean?
I don't know. It's more of a feeling, I think.
It's like trying to define boom shakalaka.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of who we are.
Yeah. I mean, sure, when you see somebody slam dunk, you want to yell boom shakalaka, but it doesn't mean that slam dunk.
But when you say it, I know why you're saying it. I know what's going on in the moment, but
Right.
there's no
Right. Huzzah.
the white man's boom shakalaka.
Yeah, the white man boom shakalaka.
This is the premier podcast of 2004. I don't care what anybody says. I know some people say that they have the premier podcast of 2004. They're not listening to this show. We talk about we do huzzah material.
9/11.
We talk about exclusively things that happened in 2001. Afghanistan, Iraq, Palestine.
Here's my question about this cement company, though. I was talking to Tyler before the episode about this, but every cement company is run by gangsters. Like the mafia ran cement because people always try to tie Donald Trump into the mafia.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, all his buildings used mafia cement, and it's like, well, there was no other choice. You
Yeah.
had to use mafia cement.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that you're specifically working the mafia. You just had no other choice.
Yeah.
And now you got LaFronge is working with ISIS with concrete. My theory is that concrete, it's you don't have to market it.
Mm-hmm.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
Like people use it, so it sells itself. It's
That's why I love going to Home Depot. All the shit that doesn't need marketing.
Yeah, lumber.
Yeah, you don't need.
You're not going to see a commercial for lumber.
Or you won't see like a flashy logo. It's
No.
just like L.
Yeah. Here's your stupid wood, idiot. You need it. Yeah, and I think cement is the same way. Also, it's really easy. There's no intelligence. It's sand and water.
Yeah.
It's a very easy thing to make.
I love that. I was telling Tyler when you were taking a piss earlier, but that this happens so frequently. Like ISIS has deals with people and companies, and it's really interesting to see this particular story because it plays out that way.
What banks do they use?
So I don't know, but they do use banks. They they use something. There's something going on where somebody's like,
you don't put $50 million in a hole.
When I worked at Allied Wallet, that was a company that probably, if it stayed open long enough, would have figured out a way to payment. Like, they were not morally opposed to funding or doing it for ISIS. They were just, it's the laws.
Right. They just had to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, like they would have meetings. Dude, there would be some crazy meetings. Just dudes rolling up in just like crazy, hilarious Arab garb because they're like the Prince of Qatar. And you're like,
what are you doing
something
here?
Weird's happening here, man.
I'm sorry. Do you mean Qatar?
Qatar. Sorry. Okay. So these guys, I guess, in trial, they're being investigated. Their claims were initially dismissed, and then now a Supreme Court, basically the prosecutor appealed, and now the Supreme Court said actually it's undismissed. Like, you guys definitely have too much here to not be prosecuted. $15 million. $50 million.
Which still is, it sounds like, I mean, it sounds impressive when the reporter says giving ISIL $50 million. But like, that's the back pocket of that guy. That's what he had on him.
I hear ya, but ISIS money, if you're giving money to ISIS, it like quadruples because
That's
it's
true.
ISIS taking it. So
I mean, when you're building bombs out of Coca-Cola cans and, you're using Toyota trucks as tanks, you can stretch a pretty penny.
I would argue $10 in ISIS's pocket, if you're giving it to them, is too much money.
Right.
They're not planning on using that money for good. It's literally the opposite of giving your money to Greenpeace or whatever organization. So I'm interested to see what they'll eventually do with these guys, whether they jail them, because shit's getting weird for billionaires now. The Purdue family is getting in trouble. Like, I'm interested to see what they do with these guys.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot more regulation. It seems like the Bernie Sanders effect from 2015 is starting to get into the establishment. Like billionaires are starting to get their feet to the fire.
It's kind of, it'll I mean, truth of the matter is it'll probably just cost them like $8 million and that's it. But, Yeah,
I know. I still haven't gotten over Bernie Sanders' 3 houses though. It's my favorite scandal ever.
All right, let's. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite ones too. We'll do a future show where we rank them out. Let's close this bad boy out. Follow the show on all social media platforms. Check out Tyler's social media handles as well, at Tyler Gazar. That's Tyler with a Z. Tyler is now doing stand-up.
Yeah, I was on a show with him last night.
He was fucking crushing that.
He's slaughtered. Destroyed.
What's going on, everybody?
2 hands on the mic. But it's not on top of each other. He cups his 2 hands like when you touch your fingertips together to make them wide enough to hold on to the microphone.
Tyler's drinking on stage out of a thimble.
Oh my god.
Follow. Hey Tyler, anything else you got to plug to these people?
No, I have something to plug next week though.
Oh yeah.
A plug about a plug.
Yeah.
Stay tuned next week, motherfuckers. See what's up.
In radio, we call that a teaser.
Follow Bryan, all social media platforms at Bryan J. Vokey, Mr. Bryan Vokey.
Mr. Bryan J. Vokey. Mr. Bryan Vokey on Instagram.
And, everything in the show notes. September 16th, Hollywood Improv.
8:30 p.m.
Come. Please come.
Yeah. I'll give everybody who buys a ticket, I'll you know what? I'll get you a drink.
I'll put up a link.
Water.
I'll put up a link to the show in the show notes as well, so you'll see that stuff.
All the details and links to the tickets.
All right, hey, on behalf of everybody here at the Worst Hour Nation, peace be unto the prophet.
Long live LaFarge.
Thank you for listening to the Worst Hour of the Week with Bryan Vokey and Ramsey Badawi. Peace be unto the prophet.